Welcome everyone to the MUTV group chat. A huge week ahead for Manchester United with two knockout ties, Europa League Thursday night, and then the FA Cup quarter-final at Leicester next Sunday. Good start to it with a hard-fought win against West Ham to give us a bit of breathing space in that top four battle. Let's bring in the lads, shall we? We've got Ben, we've got Wes, we've got Maisie, and we've got Danny. Boys, morning. How you doing? You okay?
Morning, Stu.
Maisie, that was a good start, wasn't it? Against a very defensive, should we say, defensive West Ham at Old Trafford.
Do you know what, Stu? I'd be embarrassed to be a West Ham fan or a player to play like that. How bad must it be to come to Old Trafford and put 11 behind the ball and just play a 1-6-4? Absolutely, honestly, God, it was shocking. It was horrible watching it. I'm just glad we scored, because I tell you what, that'd have been an absolute. Well, I'm glad the golf was on, to be fair, so I could flip over, because that was an absolute shambles. Fancy, Stu, I just don't get why you would come and play like that at Old Trafford. Don't get it.
I think the thing is, Ben, as you touched on it, when they actually brought on two forward players, suddenly we were in a bit of trouble. But why would you wait till you were losing to do that?
Well, we scored on I think it was the 55th minute, and up to that point, we were the only team that were at least trying to play any football, and certainly the possession that we had, we dominated the game. Once we actually scored, or once the goal went in, and he made the substitutions, which were enforced upon him because they were, like Maisie said, they were just so defensive, had no ambition whatsoever. They brought on Lanzini and Benrahma, and all of a sudden they looked like a team that were prepared to take the game to Manchester United, actually got balls in the box, had a little bit of possession, and opened the game of football out and became a bit of a contest. But up until that point, I cannot understand how David Moyes has got himself to the position with his team, because they are just absolutely dire to watch. And why go and invest in these players if you're not prepared to play them? Because, like I said, the likes of Benrahma and Lanzini, when they came on, they changed the game for West Ham.
West defensively, I think that's one goal conceded in 6 for United. It was a painful one, in fairness, right at the end against AC Milan. But defensively, he seems to be getting it right at the moment. I thought Maguire, for instance, was terrific yesterday, wasn't he?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they're getting a good bond together now. I think them four. Obviously, Shaw playing excellent at the moment. But altogether, I think Harry's got on there now. I think Ollie, has decided that's his best back four. And they're looking good. They're looking sharp. And I just want to point on the game yesterday, like what Maisie said. I'm just glad we scored, and that is honestly the truth, because anything could have happened the way they were playing. And then, like Ben said, they had to bring on players to then come and change the game. They got a little bit more attacking, but it was shocking to watch, and it was boring. I wanted a good game, and it was boring. Look how good they've done this season, and it just wasn't that sort of game. A little bit is down to Jesse with that as well. I know he's changed at the team and the way they play a little bit, but just glad with a win, really. But the defence have been brilliant.
It was dull, damn it? But I thought Mason played well, didn't he? He deserved a goal, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did well, Mason. He looked as bright as I've seen him in a while. I do think West Ham came to set up and just maybe get one or two chances in the game, and it was on the break. Didn't quite happen for them in that way. But we kept knocking at the door. For first half, we kept trying to go through the middle. We didn't try and get around the sides or anything. But Mason was bright. Fabianski made a few unbelievable saves, especially the one in the first half. But it's good signs for Mason that he's starting to get his shots away again, because he went through a period where he wasn't playing badly, but he just wasn't doing what he did when he first came into the team. So yeah, he'll get one. He hit the post obviously in the second half, and he'll be back up and running once he hits the back of the net again.
I think that's all we're going to say about that game. We've got the job done. That's the main thing. Before we bring in our guest today, just to tidy up from last week, remember we had Harry Redknapp. Your reaction, just some of your comments from our YouTube channel. This one from Tom. When the incident with Joe Jordan and Gattuso happened, my dad told me that Joe would have mullered him. I think that's probably fair. I think everybody would have backed Joe Jordan against Gattuso. Nathan said, I'm surprised Harry didn't come on with Cranchar or Defoe. He normally brings them everywhere he goes, which is a true point. Tommy, Wes Brown is a legend. You could make a video masterclass, Wes Brown taking the ball and the man. So there you go, Wes. You were more about taking the man, were you, than the ball? I seem to remember, but Could you have done a video masterclass?
I thought that was going to be another Ashton story or something, so I'm happy with that.
And this one, Luke Shaw is our best player of the season. I'm not sure you'd probably disagree with that. Would you, Ben? You've seen all the games.
No, he's been excellent. He really has. I go back to Jose Mourinho calling him out and sort of publicly humiliating him. So it's not just the physicality to play the game, it's the mental side of it as well. And he's been absolutely sensational this season.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. All right, let's bring our guest to ostensibly wanted to look ahead to Leicester against United in the FA Cup next weekend, but loads of other things to talk about as well. Robbie Savage is joining us on the group chat. How you doing, Rob? Great to see you, mate.
Good show. I've just listened to that debate on West Ham, and I know it's Man United TV, and you have to be Man United driven, but I've never heard such nonsense. What do you want West Ham to do? Come and attack? They go to the Etihad, Man United. City attack them, they score early, Man United get a penalty, and they win the game. As a player who's come to Old Trafford in the past as the team who needs to get something, what's David Moyes going to do? I tell you what, you go toe-to-toe with Manchester United. You might get beat anyway. I've seen Man United this season, 0-0s, boring, dull, scared to attack at times, no space in behind opposition. David Moyes, far more capable than any of us to set up a team. It was not great to watch, but they were still in the game. It was 1-0. They could have nicked the point at Old Trafford.
On that point, Robbie, do you not think it was a bit timid? I mean, do you need to be that timid?
Well, what do you do? I tell you what, let's go toe-to-toe with the best counter-attacking team in the Premier League at the minute. No, I don't. Listen, David Moyes has got far more knowledge than any of us as a manager, and he thinks, working with that team all week, he's seen Man United against City at the Etihad, scored after 35 seconds, then they've got to come out. And City, United want teams to attack them, to use the counter to attack, to use a space in behind. When teams sit deep, United from the number 6 area can't dictate games. And if there's no space in behind, if Fernandes is nullified, what happens? So that was the best way to play against Manchester United. And you're criticising West Ham for having that game plan.
You have got a great point, Robbie. I just think that at home, we haven't been very good. We've actually been poor. And it was probably the way they're playing and where they are in the league, they probably would have had a little chance if they would have come at us a little bit, because we have been very poor at home. That's the only thing I was saying. But I just think, we were lucky sort of to nick it, because if we needed to win that game, and if we, the away form's been brilliant, but the home form, we've been hit and miss every now and again. And I just thought that was a chance. I know they were missing Jesse. I thought that was maybe a chance for him. They're doing well in the league to get some and maybe get some points there. But I get what you're saying. We had probably the best counter-attack team there, so it's good. It's good.
Come on, Maisie.
Opposite view.
Come on, Maisie.
I just don't get a team coming to Old Trafford when you know that you've got everything to play for as West Ham. You can get closer to being in the Champions League, and you come to set up for a draw. Go for if you're going to get beat, you're going to get beat. You might as well come for it and get beat than you just put on that performance that is absolutely dire.
They were still in the game, Major. They could have nicked it. They could have nicked the point. And I know what you're saying. I get it, Major, but you've been in teams. I know this Manchester United team is not the Manchester United team when we play, when you were at Blackburn, teams like that. I get that. And they are vulnerable at home. But David Moyes' scouting system, their coaches, the whole analysis would have been, Man United, let's work on the training ground and let's have a game plan. Listen, Man United had game plans this season in dull, boring games. Oh, do you criticise them as much when they defend and
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. You've got 100% United.
I can understand. I understand your point. My point is that in a one-off FA Cup tie back at United a month ago, they played exactly the same way. And what did they have to gain? What did they have to gain from doing that?
It was a one-off FA Cup tie, and they went out. So they've lost both games. So you would say technically that Moisey got it wrong, because they inevitably the result, West Ham lost both games.
Yeah.
But if you go toe to toe with Manchester United, with their speed, you will get beat. Man United ended the best team in the country's run because City went up.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure about that because they didn't go at us after 35 seconds.
Yeah, mate, you know as well as I do. Man United struggle to break teams down when they sit deep because they haven't got number 6 who can, like a Thiago, like somebody like that, who can open up opposition. But McTominay and Fred have done brilliant this season. McTominay, for me, has been in the top 3 United players: Fernandes, Shaw, and McTominay. But they haven't got a 6. And if you can get that ball into Fernandes as a 10, and there's no space between the lines, there's no space behind, you could nullify Manchester United. Crystal Palace did it. You know, United was terrible. So what do you want David Moyes, who's got far more experience than any of us as a manager, manage Manchester United? All the coaching staff would have had figures and analysis of how do they play, where's the space. And if they thought that's the game plan to get the best results, surely he knows better than us.
Yeah, but surely then when he played in the FA Cup, he had the same game plan and it didn't work.
When Man United second in the table, they've Man United second in the table.
Yeah, but West Ham are 5th to 6th. They might as well have a go.
No, they would have thought West Ham would be there. Before the start of the season, somebody said to you, mate, where will West Ham finish? You just said bottom half.
I'd said, yeah, 10th, something like that, yeah. But they've got a chance of actually getting something.
They are over. Well, yes, it's good debate, mate. I'd just like to play the opposite view.
You're shaking us up. You are shaking us up on a group chat today, Robbie. Listen, mate.
Fair though, it's fair. Man United, it's still Man United Football Club. It's still one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world, with some fantastic, wonderful players. Hard to score against, we know that. But United have been done a lot this season in big games as well. Let's not make no bones about it.
No. Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
We have the truth. You wouldn't have been happy with West Ham yesterday, coming for a draw like that.
I've been at teams when I played for Birmingham, Blackburn, Leicester. We had a good record at Old Trafford, but you cannot go toe-to-toe with Man United, and even more so now, because I would never have said United were a counter-attacking team years ago because they could do everything. They could do everything with Scholes in the park. They could do everything, let's be fair. Out wide, the pace out wide, the forwards. So you couldn't, there was no game plan where just stay in the game as long as you can. But now, if you go at United, they want you to do that. Man United, want you to go at them. Yes or no?
Yeah, I get that. But at some point in the game, you've got to come out and have a go at United. It's only when it came to one.
And they did. They did after 60 minutes.
There's loads of problems.
Yeah, because they were still in the game at that point. But if they'd have gone at United early on, they might have been 2 or 3 down. Right, Stu, move on.
No, Ben, was he like this all the way through when you were coming through the ranks?
Absolutely.
It's a fair point. United and Ollie felt for the first time since 2012, he made no substitution. Not Ollie, but the team, Man United, February 2012 was the last time they didn't make a substitute. No substitute for Ollie yesterday.
It's going to be a different sort of game, Robbie, at Leicester on Sunday.
And what do you want Leicester to do? Attack Man United from
they will,
off?
But they will,
won't they? Won't they?
No, they won't.
What will they do?
Well, did you not see the game in the league not long ago?
Yeah. What, Boxing Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they attack them in the minute?
What do you think they'll do?
Well,
in a knockout time?
So Brendan Rodgers, who is one of the best managers in the Premier League, one of the best managers in Europe, will have a game plan, staff. And if there's no Maddison, how do you get the ball from Tielemans or Ndidi into the number 10? And he actually got a hat-trick yesterday. Vardy will play on the shoulder, no Barnes, massive injuries. So what will Brendan Rodgers say to his team? I'll tell you what, from the first minute, front foot, get at them, go play total Manchester United. We're at the King Power. It's the FA Cup. Go out and play. Go and express yourself. Play with the freedom. But I tell you what, if you do that, United will win. Especially as Wes made the great point about Man United are vulnerable at home. Away from them, they are magnificent. So I tell you what, go and attack them. Go and play against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. Go toe to toe. Do you think you'll do that?
Well, at the end, how relevant is it, Rob, that United are playing in the San Siro on Thursday night? Leicester have got a week to prepare for it.
Make an excuse.
But do you think that's relevant going into a game if United playing Thursday night? You know what it's like Thursday, Sunday. Is that a factor in this tie?
Well, will he utilise the squad? Will he change the squad? I don't know who's injured. I don't know who's going. I think it's a very tough game against AC. Everybody thought the Manchester United will win it. I thought, Kessie in the middle of the park dictated the game. Going to San Siro, what team will he play? Will he prioritise the Europa League or the FA Cup? I think top four now secure. I think they will finish in the top four, so Champions League will happen next year. So will he prioritise? Which game will he prioritise? With injuries, I don't know. You guys know better than me. Which one will he prioritise?
I think he'll go there and be really defensive.
Well, you've just hammered West Ham.
We've got a live one. We've got a live one.
Sam, I'm surprised at you.
I'm surprised. I'm going to have a word myself. I'll have a word myself.
Sav, you were there, weren't you, at Old Trafford on Thursday for the first leg? Did they surprise you, AC Milan? Because I thought a lot of people. They surprised me. I have to say, did they surprise you?
Well, with the amount of injuries they have and the young team, I was surprised by Man United's defending. Kessie, that for me was an handball. I thought direct from a throw-in, a straight ball into Kessie, 3 players around him, volley, great finish, but that was poor. Didn't really create hardly anything, Manchester United. And that's why I feel, listen, I don't know what you guys think, I don't know if you can say, but I just think that for United to go to the next level, to really compete for the Premier League, a centre forward and a number 6 who can dictate games. If you're playing with 2 6s and Fernandes is a 10, I think could Pogba be that 6 in the big European games, in the big semi-finals? I think United need a 9 and a 6 to go to that next level. And I hope they get them. Biggest club in the world. Listen, I my feelings about Manchester United. With Ben, grew up there. My son's there. Love coming to Old Trafford. Great people. I do like watching them. But I think to go to that next level, they need a 9 and a 6. A 6 who can dictate games when the game's against Palace, like the West Ham's at home. That's what I think. I might be completely wrong.
You've got a foot in both camps then. More than 200 appearances for Leicester. And then obviously your lads here at United, and you started at United. So what are you thinking on Sunday? Who you rooting for?
It's such a tough one because both teams won't be at full strength. Leicester have had massive injuries. We've heard about other teams' injuries a lot. Brendan Rodgers' side have just got on with it, and the way their recruitment has worked over the years, for me, the best recruitment in the Premier League. They're getting players in and selling them on. For much more money. Fofana has been brilliant. Will they play a back 3? How do you nullify Fernandes? Rashford was getting criticised yesterday, but I think no Rashford against AC Milan, wasn't he? He didn't play against He come off against AC Milan, did he?
He didn't play.
He didn't play.
That's the only game he missed this season, yeah.
And they missed him massively, I think. I know he gets a little bit of criticism for his finish, and I think he's still got 18 goals and 12 assists this season. And he's such a threat on the shoulder, his assists as well. People forget about his assists, the quality of balls he can play. I think that, sometimes the criticism of Marcus is unfair. I think because when he doesn't play, they miss him massively.
Robbie, he's running off the ball yesterday was incredible.
His work rate as well, Ben. When he got injured again,
he's running off the ball yesterday was unbelievable.
The 70-yard sprint back to win the ball for his side, he got injured. But I just think that it will be a different. I can't call it. Listen, I can't call it. I just think Leicester missing Maddison and Barnes is huge. Is huge for them. Even though that Castagna come in and Iheanacho and he got a hat trick at the weekend. It's a real good game, but it just depends which Manchester United, turn up. The inconsistency of Manchester United this season. When they went top of the league, I honestly thought they could go on and win it. But since then, they've been so inconsistent. And which United's going to turn up? That's what I would say.
Danny, which United is going to turn up? Because this week, everyone keeps going on about United needing a trophy. There's a lot of pressure on this week, isn't there?
Yeah, but you know what? I'd agree with that. It's like if United turn up and 8 or 9 out of them are on top form, then we've got a good chance of winning the game. But we've seen too many times where we've been, as a collective, probably been carried away, and then there's a performance that lets us down. So there's still that bit of uncertainty as to which one will turn up. But we just sit here and hope that the right United will turn up, if you get what I mean, and we'll get through to the next round. I nearly said get the points then.
Robbie, you mentioned also you've got a lad here at United who played in the Youth Cup last week. He was on the bench for the 23s as well. How is Charlie getting on?
Yeah, loves it. I listen to I watch MUTV all the time, obviously, because my boys there. Not being able to go to watch, so it's so good for my family being able to watch him. And what he is, he's an honest, hard-working kid who will do his best for the team. But at some point, and Ben, the guys, you have to be a little bit selfish in terms of, you don't want to be a utility player because he's got such a great foot. He can dictate games from the number 6 position with his passing. And I've told him to work on that. That's got to be your difference maker now. He's very fit. He can cover the ground. His fitness stats are up there. But I just think now that there's too many number 6s who just want to play sideways and backwards. And if you can hit that diagonal 60, 70 yards, which he can, that can be his difference maker. There's not many of those about now. The game's changes. The guys know that, when it was 2 in midfield, me and Ben, Nicky Butt, it was box to box, Bex, who could ping it everywhere. I've told him, Stu, that if he can make a living out of being a footballer, it's the best job in the world, whether that's at Manchester United, if it's in League 2. If you can have a career out of being a footballer, you work hard, you listen to your coaches, don't get carried away because you're at Manchester United, because we know how dreams can end, mind it, at Manchester United, but then it's how you bounce back. So hopefully I'm a good role model for him. I'm honest with him. I let him ask me questions. I never talk to him. I know Wes knows him quite well as well. So he's a great kid, which is the most important thing. But I just think he loves it, Stu. He loves it. He loves being at Manchester United, and the coaches have dealt with him really well, because he's a bronze or a silver medalist, where he's not going to be that kid who stands out in all the young age groups, but he's on an upward path. And the silver and the bronze and silver medalists are the ones who usually overtake at times the gold medalists. So, he's doing great. He's doing great.
They say he's got a nice range of passing, Robbie. Where the hell does he get that from?
Good one, Stu. I knew you were going to say that, Stu. Just, it was a bit boring. So I don't know. But he's left-footed as well, which is fancy. Yeah, listen, he's got a chance, Stu, of being a footballer because of his attitude, because of his work rate, and because he listens to people. He doesn't get carried away. So all I can do is, as a dad, is encourage him and be there for him if the dream ends and not being a footballer, because let's be realistic, but the chances of him being a footballer is not as good as the chances are he's not going to be a footballer. So, because the percentages. But all I can do, and Man United have done, is give him the tools to give him the best opportunity.
Robbie, we've taken up too much of your time, but before you go, but we just got a quick word on the class of '92, and is there anything you can tell us about Ben?
Well, I've got to say, I was probably one of the ugliest in the class of '92, and Ben was the good-looking one. All the trips went on, you'd have all the girls waiting for Ben. But our roles reversed. Look at Ben now compared to me.
I love it.
What's your comeback, Ben?
No, listen, I'll let him have his moment. Don't worry.
And I tell you what, Stu. In these wins we've been having, I don't know if anybody watches MUTV, but if Ben wears those jeans again, he'll be taken off soon.
Get him off.
Yeah.
Listen, Ben, honestly, I've got to say about Ben, what a player. Obviously, Ben was unbelievable. That left foot on that, or cutting in with his right. Honestly, him and Keith Gillespie on the wings, we were frightening. And Ben, we all know about Ben's career was cut short, but honestly, great guy. We had a car crash, didn't we, Ben, in the class of '92? I went to the back of Ben's yesterday on the way to training. But a great guy. Listen, I'm so pleased he's done well. I didn't hear from him for ages until he got a book out. Then he couldn't stop phoning me. But listen, other than that, he's top man and a wonderful guy.
Thanks so much for coming on, shaking up the program, mate. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Nice one, Sav.
Richard.
Cheers, Sav.
Amazing.
Cheers, Sav.
Thanks, mate. We really appreciate it.
Pleasure, mate.
There you go. Robbie Savage joining us on the group chat. Before we go, guys, it is a hell of a week ahead. And you don't actually think we're going to be defensive, do you, mate? Or Maisie, or not?
No. I think we'll probably nick it, Stu. If we keep a clean sheet, Stu, we'll win the game. There you go.
Yeah.
We'll get some out of it, and we'll keep a clean sheet.
You can enjoy your day now, mate. You've really reeled him in now. You can really enjoy your day now, can't you, after that?
Do you know what, Stu? I'm not quite sure that counts. That was a good one. Good one.
Thanks very much, guys. Let's do it all again next week. If you want to get in touch with us, by the way, just leave a comment on our YouTube channel, and we look forward to hear what you got to say. Be interesting what you got to say about Savage. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, Stu.